Hey cats, today we're talking about the Endorphin Elite 2 from Saucony. A longer term review for you, talking about the upper, midsole and the outsole. Should you be picking this one up now? There's some great discounts on it. Let's find out. Thanks for tuning in, people, always appreciated. Hit that subscribe button for more running shoe content. Also give this video a thumbs up, like, and drop us a comment for the algorithm. Dankeschön. This is a shoe that Saucony sent over to me for review, but they're not paying me to make this video. At 233 grams, or about 8.2 ounces, this is one of the softest and most compressive shoes I've got in the collection. Nothing comes even close to the squash that we've got here in the IncrediRun foam. I mean, that's either going to be fantastic to you or present something of a problem. So I'm up to about 90 miles in this one, just shy of 150 kilometers. How is the shoe holding up? Can I recommend that you race or even train in this shoe? Let's find out. Upper-wise, I took those standard laces straight out of there. Too flexible, too much stretch to them. I much prefer these serrated laces that I nicked out of a pair of Asics trail shoes. In fact, these improved the fit no end, much easier to get a good lockdown in the Endorphin Elite 2 after that. Decent toe box room here that I would suggest if you don't have a narrow foot. You may come a cropper with this very kind of pronounced lateral curve that comes in here. It is a fairly extreme taper here. In terms of actually volume and height wise in the upper, I think it's very accommodating. The one interesting feature that we do have here is this sort of elasticated knit that we've got where the tongue would be. It means you can tailor the shoe to quite a lot of foot shapes, really. I think it's quite versatile from that aspect. Those stock stretchy laces just give a little bit and they're not all that consistent, and you really need a good lockdown onto that midsole because of how soft it is. I found the shoe very breathable, used it a lot over the summer months when it was much warmer. Now it's getting a little bit colder, it's not really too much of a problem, though the upper here is very much made to be super light, keep the weight of the shoe down. May have to put some slightly thicker socks on to use this one over the winter months. I do like the heel, it is very flexible, though it stays out of the way with that sort of flare that goes away from the Achilles. I mean, it looks nuts, but it functions very well. It's a little bit more traditional than the previous version of the Endorphin Elite. So upper's been very functional for me over the course of my testing. Talking about the midsole now. So really this is the key point of the shoe. It's the thing that sets this shoe apart from many others. This dramatically lowers my heart rate and perceived effort pretty much at any pace, really. Running steady, sustainable kind of 8-minute miles, it certainly lowers my heart rate by about 5 to 6 beats per minute, and that could be quite considerable over the course of a much longer run. The other key feature really about this IncrediRun midsole material is just how forgiving it is. I found the days after running in this shoe, my legs just feel absolutely incredible. I mean, it may not have the very sort of dense or springy nature that some other foams have, but on pure impact protection, there's no other shoe that matches this. This foam, when measured, comes in at around short A11, so the lower the number, the softer the material. There's nothing else like it in the shoe collection that I've got. I think the closest probably Fuel Cell. It must be noted that you do see websites where they're dropping like steel balls and like rods and stuff onto the foam. Doing that and running in it are two different things, right? I found this foam quickly gets you onto the forefoot. It's very much a shoe that really works for me when I'm landing mid to forefoot. The lightness of the shoe does mean you can keep your cadence up. I wouldn't suggest this is the best option if you're a heel striker. If you need some stability back there, you simply aren't going to get it from this stuff. It is mega compressive. So don't even think about it if you get any problems like with ankle pain or knee issues. This is just going to be too soft, I think, for a lot of people. As a runner with a reasonably neutral foot strike, I haven't had any problems with this at all. It's just like running on a cushion. I think it's a little bit down to the forked plate as well. I mean, that does add a little bit more kind of movement up in the front of the shoe. I think if they had used a standard plate with this foam, it would just be a little bit too wobbly, like you're on one of those sort of balance boards or something. At least with the fork plate, it allows the foam to kind of shift around a little bit more and accommodate your foot. Just allows a little bit of flex and compression there up front, which is very much needed with this foam. Outsole on this, super thin. The coverage is good. The rubber's actually quite sticky. There's still a decent sort of coarse nature to it. It's done a great job of protecting the foam. I was very worried about this shoe in terms of durability when I first reviewed it. All my worries have been completely unfounded. The foam is stayed great actually. There's a little bit of discoloration, which you would expect at this point, but nothing's peeling off, nothing's falling off, the foam hasn't torn, hasn't broken anywhere. It actually looks great. So you might pay a huge premium for this shoe, but it's certainly lasting the test of time, and I can't say that about all shoes that I have tried. I think this one's an absolute banger if you're considering doing a half or full marathon. Probably get some training miles into this one as well. The foam feels just as good as it did out the box. Certainly a shoe that I could use for like 6-minute 50 per mile half marathon attempt, and it's certainly going to save you going the distance in the full marathon. Though I do think that you need some decent form to get the best out of this one as you start to tire. I think even the foam could work against you a little bit if you're starting a heel strike, fall into the back here. It's just so compressive. If you're looking for a shoe that's going to serve you for all the common race distances, then I think this one isn't the best option for like a 5 or 10k. It's just too much squash there. You might want something with a slightly firmer feel, a little bit more propulsive, maybe something like the Takumi Sen 11, maybe the Vaporfly 4 even. Now, a big difference that I've encountered here in my sort of longer term review against my initial one is the price of the shoe. It's a very expensive shoe at retail. I've noted that there's some heavy discounts on this now, around about 189 notes here in the UK. Oh, sorry, Earth credits in the UK. I mean, it's still costly, but it just makes it a little bit more obtainable, slightly easier to stomach. This is a very unique foam you have here. If you're one of those people that likes testing out new shoe gear, then this is one I think that you'd really enjoy. Does make you smile when you've got it on foot. It is something quite wild. It's a great, soft, very cushioned ride. If you're out for, you know, the most avert impact protection possible, then this one is a good bet. Perhaps if you're one of those heavier folks that just really want that cushion underfoot, but without the heavy weight that often comes with that type of max cushion shoe. So taking into account durability and longevity and just general fun of wearing this shoe, it's certainly up there in my top 5 for this year. It's slowly kind of moved up the rankings really. I don't see anything majorly insanely good coming out over the next few months. There's nothing slated for release that's going to really blow my socks off, I don't think. So I can wholeheartedly recommend this one, especially if you can grab it on a discount. If you're bored of the sort of cookie cutter carbon shoes that are kind of all the same, this one's got a bit of character about it. It's a bit strange, and I like it for that. Light, fun and nimble, and it's a darn sight cheaper now than it was. What are your thoughts on the Saucony Endorphin Elite 2? Have you tried it? Is it a goat shoe for you, or was it just too squashy? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Quick musical interlude for you. Go and check out the new live album from Johnny Marr. It's called Look Out Live. Loads of tracks on here, beautiful versions as well, and a real range of material. All of Johnny Marr's sort of solo stuff really since 2012, right back to some of his stuff in the 80s even. I particularly like the newer track though, called Somewhere. It's a fantastic string section on that. Beautiful melody, lovely chords, some wonderful guitar sounds in fact across this whole live album. One thing to note is how Johnny Marr's voice has improved so much over the years since he's been performing live so much. I've managed to see him about 3 or 4 times, and every time it's been absolutely fantastic. But here just goes to show just how much better sort of control, I guess, and more confidence he's got in his own voice, and that really comes through. Certainly on some of the Smiths numbers, in fact. Go and check it out, Look Out Live by Johnny Marr. Thanks for tuning in, people. Hope you enjoyed this longer term review. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, like, and drop us a comment too. My name's Eddbud, and I'll be seeing you